How does this happen? How did we, get to this point where our government teaches agents to blow things up? Dirty tricks. And this is again from Sidney Gottlieb. All about the dirty tricks and MK Ultra. It's evil. It's unbelievable. One day I really should. I think I should have to look into how far I can go with this. But I think that it's interesting to expose it. I certainly wouldn't want to put any more light on the situation than I've already put on myself, I guess, and the problems I'm having, like currently with the IRS and the obvious targeting that I put on record many times. I'll go into details on the IRS if it turns out to be something that's true. They accuse me of owing income tax that is not taxable. So anyway, we'll see how that whole thing works out. But I would love to actually make a video. It'd probably be like 2 hours long, but look at the size of this thing. It's that's like, it's typical screenplay size, right? And read it and and put it up there, put it out there. That'd be awesome. Oh yeah. And then all the New World Order minions would call me a treasonous. They would be calling me a traitor for giving away the secrets of CIA dirty tricks. I mean, this is the country we live in, isn't it? Snowden, is probably an agent. I think he's a double agent. I think that he's a plant. That's my deduction of him over the course of time, and all of these secrets that have been exposed serve a greater purpose that is yet to be revealed. I think there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye, especially when it comes to the CIA and their little dirty tricks, their little book of dirty tricks. Because some of these things, boy, have happened, like blowing up, fertilizer and blowing buildings up. Like the Alfred P. Murrow Federal Building. There are some people that are pulling the strings in this world. And that's what I'm trying to get to. That's what I'm trying to find the essence of. Who are these people? Well, we know who they are. We know exactly who they are. It's the elitist families that are working for this socialist totalitarian takeover, ever encroaching regulations, ever increasing taxation, ever increasing, making it harder to become, a middle class or affluent, and sort of creating this neo-feudal society where they believe that if you're not going to have wealth for whatever reason, you just should be a serf. So they really do believe this. This isn't my opinion. I've put this in they've written in many of their documents. I put out videos on this, especially when it comes to I think it was 1986 when they found the Bilderberg minutes from the 25th anniversary Bilderberg meeting, which described this in detail. So, that said, Cameron was a sick man. Dr. Ewan Cameron. He was pretty evil. They performed lobotomies, they did all these things, and then they glossed it all over with movies by Ken Kesey, who was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was actually written by Ken Kesey, who was, of course, an MK Ultra mind control volunteer, as was Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. So if you think that there's not connections to all of these things, maybe you're not thinking clear enough. Maybe you're not opening the doors of perception, as Aldous Huxley would say, to the truth. Because that is the truth. And the CIA created the drug culture, it created the entire part of MK Ultra was to create the counterculture, believe it or not, and it did. I mean, tune in, turn out, all of this attention on Timothy Leary. Come on. He admitted it himself. Timothy Leary admitted it himself that the CIA was most responsible for the counterculture. Certainly giving all the psychiatrists in 200 different psychiatrists in 50 different universities LSD to experiment on. Yes. The truth is stranger than fiction. That's for certain. There's no doubt about that. All right, so then this whole fact that our government has been constantly doing, I mean, terribly, terribly covert and evil things against the people, we have a rising police state where I posted something on Facebook where there was a sign where no grills allowed, no generators, no all these different restrictions for somebody to come out and watch. It was ridiculous. Blankets, I mean, I think that what we've come to be a nation of being restricted instead of being free, but they say you're free because they have to get money off you and they have to use your labor and your sweat to keep this facade moving, to keep this image from fading into darkness and coming to light of truth, where we realize that the government is being regulating only the corporations and companies and interests that it serves, and that we the people are herded like sheep, restricted upon. I mean, there are now, I heard today, and I was astounded, excuse me, I heard today that there was a plan for this weekend where they're going to be just pulling people over and tying them down and taking blood from them in Virginia, I think it is. I mean, I'm like, what the hell is going on in this country? What the hell is going on? I mean, the Constitution is being eviscerated. Our rights are we're turning into a Stasi republic. Instead of a Stasi, instead of a constitutional republic, we're a Stasi republic. We're a third world banana republic, soon to be, as a result of these intentional fiscal policies, these intentional trade agreements, these intentional deindustrialization measures that are working very wonderfully, and you blame the president, he has a low approval rating. Come on, all he's doing is following the program. That's why he'll get millions of dollars like Bill, and Hillary got $250,000 for a speech she did in April to talk for an hour, and she's talking about income inequality. I mean, come on. This is just outrageous. Fools. You are fools. You truly do. You truly are. If you buy into any of this bullshit and you don't see how we're being raped and pillaged and destroyed and are the middle class being turned into serfs and working our balls off, everyone says it. Why? Everyone's working harder. Things are costing more and they work harder and make less, and they're doing this intentionally. It's not come on. It's an obvious fact. You could just see how it's happened since, if you've been working for 20 or 30 years. I mean, I've been my first job was in 1990. My first full-time job was in 1990. So I mean, we're going back, but man, it was good. Things were all right. You could live. You could at least live. I mean, it was always hard to things. But everything, it seems like they just keep pulling that carrot just farther and farther away, and everyone's got to work harder to make ends meet, or go on social programs, and they love that. Oh, they love that. They want people dependent. And it'll be like Soylent Green one day. I mean, it'll be like, everything's going to be regulated. You won't go and be able to, Agenda 21, you're not going to be able to go into the forest. You might hurt some little toad or something in this. Unbelievable. But this is the New World Order. It's not new and it's not order, and it's been accumulating its power and its influence and getting its people over generations literally infiltrated into our government, where they're moving the agenda along, and they just think that they're happy-go-lucky people because this is the way they believe, because they've been compartmentalized and they've been put into places and they've gotten to these places because of their ideologies and their thoughts and their processes and the way they would do things and what their belief systems are. That's how they got in positions that they're in. Now, you do that over like 20 or 30, 40, actually in this case 60 years. Boy, and you got fathers and sons and cousins and all the other bloodline families bringing these people in generations. That's 3 generations almost, right? What's that mean? That means you have a controlled oligarchy being put into place with consent of these people who believe they're doing the best that they could for their country. These aren't outright traitors. They're just mesmerized. They've been hoodwinked, like in the Masonic terminology. They've been hoodwinked to believe this lie, and they embrace it and they believe it, and that's why they've been put into the positions of power that they've been put into, and they benefit from it. So why would they care if they've been hoodwinked? Who cares? That's the attitude. Look at me and look at you. But meanwhile, they cry about the people at the border. But let those people at the border, why don't have them all come to their backyards or their front yards and pitch some tents? Why don't all of these people that believe that these illegal aliens that they have all of these needs and all of this, and it's all unfair and everything, let them all come to those people's homes and properties and let those people feed them and share in the wealth. Not the government. It's not the government's job to do any of this. But they want everyone to believe that, and they want that because they've been conditioned to believe that. That's the truth. That's the New World Order. That's what it is. It's totalitarian socialism, mind control, manipulation, war, pestilence, decimation. That's what's coming. Instead of making the situation better, Obama pulls out the troops, tells everybody in Al-Qaeda and all the other Al-Qaeda and all the other controlled oppositions and the actual oppositions and all of these players exactly what he's doing, when he's going to do it, and the minute he does it, boom, they take over the whole country. And you think it was just poor foreign policy. Then you're just about as stupid as they are. Or you're just not paying attention. This is it's all working. It's all going according to plan. Believe me, they want it exactly the way this is. The rise of radical Islam to go and create World War III. Albert Pike's letter to Mazzini is a letter discussing the 3 world wars, and the third being between the battle for Israel or Jerusalem, between the Arabs and the Jews. The Arabs and the Jews. And it's coming to pass. There's just no question about it. You can see this happening. And it's not done because they have crystal balls and it's done through backing and financing various opposition groups and various, in fact, funding the enemy in many cases to achieve the goal. So this is high stakes, high level deception. Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution. Create the problem, offer the solution, implement it. The people react and they're outraged. You offer the beautiful solution and they embrace it. It's done time and again, over and over again. Frederick Hegel's theory. This is the New World Order. Okay, in the second half of the show, I'm going to go a little farther into this problem that we have with the immigration and the fact that it's going to lead to more child sex trafficking and satanic ritual abuse. These kids are being targeted for attack, and we got to expose it. So stay tuned. You're watching Truth Talk News here on TruthBroadcastNetwork.com. I'm your host, Howard Nima. Be back in just a minute. Now here's some truth Okay.